that speak thousands of words. No? Siya'y, makikita niyo mamaya, ako yung nag-coin now, no? That's how I perceive it. Yung magisterium ni Pope Francis may not be a magisterium of documents. It doesn't have intention of writing encyclicals, etc. etc. Sinasabi niya sa mga conversation, sa mga table, na parang we have enough of documents. We will have to implement them. So, parang ang description pa ng kanyang papacy is more of, or rather, magisterium. It's a magisterium of witnessing. Okay? Rather than, you know, yung mga, in fact, yung kanyang encyclical, Lumen Fidei, the Life of Faith, ay, ang gumawa niya si Pope Benedict. Yung pinakahuli lang. Napasin niyo, yung pinakahuli, medyo, iba yung task. Because now, the encyclical speaks of relating the life of faith to social justice. And you know where it's coming from. It's from South America, kung saan malakas yung liberation theology. Pag pinag-usapan natin ang doktrina, ito kung ating ko, reliable. He is super orthodox in terms of doctrine. Pero pagdating na sa pastoral approach, yung mukhang yun ang kanyang distinctive character. Doon siya naiiba. Unfortunately, well, should I say that? Anyway, hindi naman to official, pero yung papacy kasi ni Pope Benedict, especially the last 3 years, parang marami na gumagalaw sa paligid niya. Okay? Kahit yung malakali John Paul II when he was already deteriorating kanyang health, ang tendency talaga ng mga people doon sa Roman Curia is to take things in their hands. So, sila yung parang gusto magpatakbo. Kasi you see the Pope now is no longer as he is, he should be. So, I will just mention to you isang instance para ipakita natin yung papers in the last 2 years of Pope Benedict was like, dyan lumabas yung mga scandal, for example, Catholics. Na nagugulat kami sa Vatican sapagkat yung mga appointment of bishops ay 1 week before, alam na sa media. Alam na sa media, sino naglalabas nito? No? Sapagkat talagang subsecret yung proseso. Nakakagulat, no? So yung pala, well, yun ang lumabas na meron mga involved. And of course, tumigil yung investigation dun sa person concerned, si Gabriel. When at the eve of the conclave, eto mga American bishops were very, very noisy, no? Kasi kinakalampak talaga nila, sabi nila, ilabas! Ano talagang dahilan? Sino ang involved? How far it has gone? Hanggang itaas ba yan? So, in fact, yung mga cardinals ng US ay nagkagawa natin ng sariling press con, no? Pinitigil ng Vatican, sa stand. Nakadalawa sila o tatlo, no? Kasi nga, maingay yung mga American bishops. Sabi nila, we cannot move on not unless we face squarely the roots of the problem in the Vatican. Okay, aside from that, siguro mas worse, is the lack of transparency sa loob ng Vatican. Kaya sa pinag-iinitan ng mata ng bagong Papa ay Vatican ban. Kasi nga, maraming focus, no? Well, we know even during the time of John Paul II, si Marcos was involved in the sense na Vatican has lost over 200 million. And you remember na nag-appeal sa mga diocese all over the world na magbigay para lang ma-pass up yung $200 million, no? So, ang Vatican, in fact, meron po akong credit card kasi kailangan ko pa ng online payment, no? Kailangan ko. Yung aming credit card, kadalasan pagdating mo sa labas, ayaw i-honor. Kasi, sa kanilang paningin, hindi reliable ang Vatican ang kanilang financial institution. Ang buong European community has gone a long way in terms of anti-money laundering law. Even in the Philippines, we have that. Ang Vatican, parang kabalintunaan naman yan, no, na supposed to be the bearer of morality and teacher and all that. Pagdating na sa usaping pera sila, hindi transparent. Nakikita niyo, halimbawa, every year, meron po tayo doon sa labas ng sa Piazza de San Pietro, meron naman ang cream. It was started by John Paul II, no? And you know how much sometimes being spent for that? Staggering amount of going as high as 200,000 to 300,000 euros. Eh yung pala, pwede palang gawin ng 50,000 lang. Some people are really earning this month. Okay. So anyway, so may bonus, no? So speaking of the bonus, we have our own bonus in a sense. No? Okay. So ito po yung ating sharing. I'd like to try to pick up some indications. When I say indication, can be admonition, can be words of cautions, etc. from the Pope. Okay, ang tanong nung siya iboto, kasi 76 years old, immediately the question of some people is he a transition pope? Kasi pag sinabi transition pope, anong gagawin niya? Status quo. Wala kang, sige lang, ganyan lang, no? Whatever na lang dyan, yung gagawin natin, okay, don't rock the boat. Okay. Or is he a reformist pope? At his age, at 76, well, don't forget, the Blessed John the 23rd, a reformist pope, par excellence, kaya natin sabihin gano'n. Nag-declare siya ng pagbubukas ng Second Vatican Council. My goodness, no? Convoking all bishops from all over the world for a couple of years, coming up with 16 documents, no? He was 80 when he did that. So age doesn't matter. Okay. He is a pope of surprises. Ang daming nakakagulat. Kasi nga, from day one, parang pinapakita ni Pope Francis, I am in command. Guys, you better watch out. I am in command. So, hindi siya basta-basta pwedeng ikulong. Okay, tutulad yung siya sabi ko kanina, si Pope Benedict the last 2 years, parang kinulong na yung pobre. For example, ang mga anunsyo, every year, they come to the Vatican for annual report. Sila yung representative ng popes sa different countries, no? Hindi na sila binibigyan pagkakataon makipag-usap sa pope. Face-to-face, even for 15 minutes. None of the above. You can only access the pope during the general audience and you're given 2 minutes. Pag lumampas ka ng 120 seconds, may pumipitik na sa'yo, sabi, your time is up. Okay? May mahaba nga naman pina, no? And yung Pope, hindi na rin pwedeng makipag-usap ang mga archbishops. Only cardinals can see him. Doon sa aming dicastery, palibasa ng misionary, no? Can you imagine, yung mga bishops coming all the way from Africa, from Central Asia, from traveling thousands of miles, and say, you cannot see the Pope. Doon sa general audience. Talagang malulungkot yung mga bispo. Kasi may gusto sabihin. No? Eh naman siguro, yung si Pope Benedict, at a certain point, we can say this, medyo hindi na in touch with reality. Pastoral realities, no? Nakulong. Kaya ito si ngayon, huwag na may kulong. Isa sa mga decision niya is, I'm not going to live at the Apostolic Palace. Sabi niya, that's too big for me. It's good for 300 people. I stay here. I stick it out here. Doon sa Santa Marta. Okay? Doon siya nakatira. And siya may mabilis ang kumigos. No? Isang araw, after lunch, no? Usap. Siya lumabas. Tumayo. Alam mo siya nagpunta? Nagpunta sa motor pool ng Vatican, which is about 200 meters. And nagsimula magtuturo doon na yung mga coaching yan, hindi dapat narin ito. Yan. Yung mga Mercedes, etc. At nag-decide siya na pumili ng kanyang kotse. Ang kotse niya is Ford Focus. Okay. Ito, pinakuli. Pero listen. May nagbigay na isang matandang mare, 79 years old. Sabi niya, po, bibigyan ko sa inyo ang kotse ko. Sabi niya po, okay, sige, dali mo dito. Dinala, galing sa North. Yun, dinala. This is a Renault, 1984. Ang sabi niya po, I can drive that. Okay, so he has intention of driving. Surprise! Okay. Another thing is, the following day,